Thank you guys for tuning in to FOSA Spotlight. We're in the right place if you want to be inspired, to be empowered. I am your host, Crystal Boyd. Yes, it is an honor. Yes, it is a privilege. Yes, I'm happy. Happy, joy. Y'all remember that? I know you do. You can relate. So, today's topic is attitude equals 100%. I think y'all remember this in school. At least I do. And I'm just going to say, for the sake of just going with the flow, most of y'all know this. So if you line up all of the letters and associate the letters with like the place in the alphabet that the letters stand, such as A is 1, right? So you would take that on, so such and such, spell out attitude completely. And when you have numbers associated with each of the letters of the alphabet, you add them together. It's 100%. Talk about strange. Strange. But nonetheless, I believe that's a reason. That's a whole reason. Why? Because attitude determines so much. Yeah, it does. And people say it casually, like that's my attitude towards things. And which leads me into our fun part where we define things, where we talk about the root, the base, and all of that good stuff. So I went and took the liberty to look up these definitions. Now, coincidentally, this is going to take a couple of turns. So I'm going to start with the Webster Dictionary definition. And that is a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. I mean, it's giving, right? But it's not enough. All right, so second one, a position of the body proper to or implying an action or mental state. Uncooperative behavior, resentful or antagonistic manner. All right, so thankful, but that's still not giving me everything. So I'm going to go to the place where I think I got everything, and that's the psychology definition of this. You know what I mean? Yes. An attitude refers to a set of emotions, beliefs, and behaviors toward a particular object, person, thing, or event. Attitudes are often the result of experience or upbringing. They can have a powerful influence over behavior and affect how people act in various situations. Wow. That was a lot right there. But we're going to take it all in still. But what I'd like to say about that is the fact that attitude is definitely 100. It equals 100%. Based on all of that I've just described, all of that I just read to you all, yeah, we see that. But I want to say, I read the book Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, which I highly recommend. If I haven't already, I believe I have recommended it, but I certainly do. And there he talks about this list of riches, which I've shared with you guys before as well. But one of them, I believe, had to do with attitude. So you're going to have to bear with me for a moment, because I have to look up list of riches because this was really nice. Napoleon Hill. And it says your mindset. Now, I would say that this is synonymous with attitude, your way of thinking. And also this one still seems to be associated with the heart, which I could see that. I could see that because it's a set of attitudes and beliefs. And sometimes people will say, maybe something went on and they say my heart wouldn't let me do it. What are they saying? My attitudes, my beliefs wouldn't allow me to do this particular action, this type of thing. And so really that attitude, your heart, can protect you. So ways that you can change your attitude. I believe if I were to answer that, I had to think about that. Sorry for my long pause. But I had to think about that myself and just go through my mental notes on that. I would evaluate where my heart is today. You have to have honest moments with yourself. Guess what? Because if you don't, when are you? We don't really get more time in the day, and all we have is a present. So, and I'm convinced if we dig deep, we can have a higher quality of life. We're always looking for the new thing, the new this, the new that, but there's a new thing within us if we search deep enough. And I would say one of the ways to change that is to evaluate where you are. Like, I've seen my attitude towards things or my disposition maybe on certain matters. And I have to, kind of critique myself, be critical of myself. Where did that come from? Why? And if I can't find adequate support biblically, I can't see that type of attitude or belief serves me, then I'm working on changing it. That's just who I am. Like, I really want to do the right thing in life. I want my heart to be right. I want to love people right. So I think you just have to assess and evaluate where you are. Be honest with yourself. All the shortcomings, hey, where am I just totally not owning up to where I can be or could be? And make some reasonable adjustments to start making those things happen. So second thing I think is, you got to change your thoughts. I support that. Changing your thoughts is going to be that. Like, I don't like marinating in bad thoughts. Like, sometimes it's so easy because you get to thinking and then that thought becomes this thought and that thought becomes this thought. And before you know it, you've thunk a lot. I don't believe that shouldn't be a word. But nonetheless, you've been doing a lot of thinking and then you got to this place that, hey, you're like, why did I even think like that? And I have to check myself. Got things that I'm working on, and then before you know it, I'm just like all down the rabbit hole in my thinking. And it's not in the up and up. It's not, on the good side of how much this can go right. I'll find myself on the bad side of how bad this can go. Like, come on, Crystal. Like, no, that's not the answer. So I have to constantly evaluate my thoughts. And some days it's easier, some days it's harder, but definitely doing that is one. You got to have the desire to change, the desire, the passion, the appetite. Many people will see and acknowledge, well, not all will see and acknowledge, but some know that adjustments need to be made. Attitudes, heart, behavior, whatever. Will they do it? No. But I'm convinced that that desire, passion, lack of fulfillment, you're going to want to do this and see it through. Taking responsibility is another thing that can help. And from there, developing good habits. Small good habits, small steps. Thinking positive, reminding yourself of that. Keeping company or, conversations on a light, positive note. People that may be very pessimistic. Hey, you just may have to cut them out of your circle. Or very much limit them in the contact and the discussions, especially if it has just an adverse effect where you just feel like you're down in the dumps every time you talk to them, and it's just too much. I believe that you pray for those people and you let God handle that the best way they can. But if it just seems to be tugging at you and you can't handle it all, then, you have to leave that person to the Lord. And ultimately, we all have to be to the Lord. So I don't feel bad about saying that, because I certainly don't want anyone trying to play God for me. Now, that was a lot. However, this, I believe, is beneficial. I hope it's been so beneficial. I'm going to pray and hope and expect great things to come from this podcast. And I can't wait to hear about it. Speaking of which, if you haven't already, you should like, share, comment, subscribe to our channel. Keep in mind, we are doing some work on the website. Trust and believe it's going to be well worth it. And you'll be so proud of us. Until next time, okay now, bye-bye then.